All right, so hear me out here because you can probably relate. You fix yourself a nice plate of leftovers, or maybe you pull a meal out of the freezer. You can almost taste it. You are so hungry. You pop it in the microwave. You hear the beep. You're ready to eat. You take that first big bite and, oh boy, it's not that warm nugget of pure joy that you were anticipating, but a big bite of cold.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. And it can be frustrating. Cold spots throughout our microwave meals. But if you could actually see your food being cooked, could those cold spots soon be a thing of the past? Well, thanks to infrared technology, maybe so. When it comes to microwaves, it can be the most frustrating part. Is your food hot all the way through, or are you going to bite into a big cold spot?
We rely primarily on our sense of sight, so it would be so much better if we could be like the predator and just glance over and see the temperature of our food to tell if it was done.
Mark Rober took to YouTube to demonstrate a new kind of microwave with thermal vision. Infrared cameras watch the food as it cooks, and the front of the microwave displays a heat map.
So it will start as blue because it's cold, but then as it cooks, it will work its way through the temperature scale, eventually to red, and then all white when it's done.
And Rober says the heat map can also be sent to your smartphone.
So you can put your soup in, and then you can work upstairs. And if you don't see all white after 4 minutes, you can just add another 30 seconds of cook time from your phone.
Rober is a former NASA engineer whose previous YouTube videos featuring his ideas have earned him national attention.
It is cool to be able to just, to live in this day and age where you can just reach an audience, where I could put something out, and I've basically been in 500,000 people's homes in the last 24 hours.
Rober says he came up with his latest idea while microwaving a burrito, in hopes of solving the annoyances of nuking food.
It just makes sense that you could see your food cook, and it just solves the age-old problem of the frozen burrito.
Now, Mark has a patent on his invention and hopes to spread the word so that potential investors will know there's a market and demand.
And when it comes to the microwave, it can be used in more ways than just one. According to the Daily Meal, you can pop an onion in the microwave for 30 seconds. It should help cut down on the tears when you peel and chop it. If you want to cook beans but you didn't soak them overnight, put them in water and microwave until the water boils. Then let them sit for an hour, drain, you're good to go. If your dark sugar is as hard as a brick, cover it with a moist paper towel, microwave for 20 seconds, and it should turn soft enough to use. Instead of wasting money on dried herbs, stick them in the microwave. That ought to do the trick for you. The Daily Meal says that if your honey has crystallized and it's in a glass jar, just remove the lid and nuke it. Should be good as new again. Place stale bread on a damp towel, microwave it in 10-second increments, and you should be on your way to tasty sandwiches again. And finally, your microwave can help with stubborn squashes and root veggies that are hard to peel. Just nuke them for a couple of minutes. They should be much easier to get through. And something else that you can do, microwave your kitchen sponges. Researchers say just 2 minutes at high power can kill or inactivate over 99% of bacteria, viruses, and parasites in sponges. Just make sure the sponge is completely wet, never dry.
And it's not a Brillo pad.
And it's not, no.
Well, lots of interesting uses there, but plenty of things pull double duty. Did you ever think bugs could? They're not just creepy crawlers that serve a purpose in our environment. Are you ready for this, Jimmy? 2 billion people worldwide eat bugs as their main source of protein.
Eat bugs, and the trend is rising, believe it or not. As a matter of fact, it's catching on here in the States in the form of cricket flour.
When you first walk into this kitchen commissary, it looks like a normal kitchen with normal ingredients on the shelves, and then you find some not so normal things. Meet Pat Crowley.
When we make the flour out of the cricket,
You heard right.
this is our flour.
Oh, it looks kind of like brown sugar. Why would anyone consider substituting wheat flour for ground up crickets?
The cricket flour is about twice the protein content of beef. So you have to eat about half the weight of beef to get the same protein content.
3 ounces.
So 3 ounces of the cricket flour equals about a 6-ounce steak.
The new company is called Chapul.
It's an Aztec word. Nahuatl is the language of the Aztecs, and it means cricket or grasshopper.
The Aztecs would gather them, dry them in the sun, like Crowley dries them in the convection oven, and then grind them into flour.
It's higher protein than like a whey protein or soy protein, and it's actually much more digestible.
But the main reason to consider using cricket flour? The future. Finding an efficient, environmentally friendly way to feed 9 billion people.
And that's one of the best things about them from an agricultural perspective is they just grow so rapidly.
How long from birth to market size?
Yeah, about 5 weeks.
Takes a cow about 2 years. That's a lot of feed and water for half the protein provided by cricket flour.
It's amazing how efficient they are at converting that feed into an edible, healthy protein.
Crowley is right on the cusp of mass marketing cricket flour to cook with.
Zucchini bread.
And these high energy bars made with cricket flour can already be found at Nature's Grocer.
Everyone should be eating it, that's right.
Mark Cuban from Shark Tank is already on board. You just have to get past the ick factor.
Some people make a funny looking face, and so if you can get over that, then if you can look at it logically, scientifically, nutritionally, environmentally, it just makes all the sense in the world.
This bar is Crowley's favorite. Chocolate, coffee, and cricket flour with a hint of cayenne pepper. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Not granola. It doesn't taste like granola, but like a kind of like a chewy brownie in a little denser form.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I just got the cayenne.
Yeah, doesn't it come in way at the end there?
Waits a second and goes, hello.
Yeah.
Something else about the bars, their sweetness is natural. It comes from dates and honey.
All right.
Isn't it?
Pretty interesting. Now moving on to a different type of bar. Up next, we're back in the DelmarvaLife kitchen making some festive cocktails just in time for St. Patrick's Day. We also share non-alcoholic alternatives.
And say you do have too much to drink, how are you going to recover? We're going to learn a few simple hangover hacks. DelmarvaLife will be right back.